Do you need an easy-to-build pump motor that's super quiet, powerful, and slim enough to fit into a bottle? Well, today we're building and testing exactly that. The best part? Almost all the parts are 3D printable, and you won't even need any supports. You'll need an 8x5 by 20mm mini motor, 2 wires for extending the connections, 2 heat shrink tubes or electrical tape to insulate the solder joints, 2 silicone tubes with a 6mm outer diameter, and a few batteries for testing. First, print the 3D parts. The links for the files are in the video description below. After importing the files into your slicer, align them exactly as shown in the video. This way you'll save on supports and filament. The print settings are the default ones from Bamboo. Once everything is set up, start printing. For sealing, you'll need some silicone and a bit of lubricant or oil to coat the motor shaft, preventing the silicone from sticking while it cures. To do this, dip a cotton swab into your lubricant and gently apply it to the motor shaft. Make sure not to touch the motor itself, as it will be sealed with silicone. Now fill a bit of silicone into the small body, A2. Gently press the small motor into the housing and wipe away any excess silicone. Attach the propeller and, if necessary, secure it with super glue. Solder the extension wires to the motor cables and insulate the joints with heat shrink tubes. Make sure the wires aren't too thick so they can fit into the tube later. Next, fill the rear part with silicone and pull the 2 wires through the first tube. This tube serves as insulation and strain relief. Slide the tube all the way forward until it dips into the silicone to ensure a complete seal. Then use scissors to cut a slight angle at the top end of the tube to make it easier to fit the lid on later. Take the small lid A1 and slide it over the tube all the way forward until you hear a soft click. The motor is now completely waterproof. Now, it's time to wait until the silicone cures. After it has dried, test if the shaft moves freely and if the motor can spin. Then, insert the motor into the outer shell. Don't push it in too far to ensure the propeller can rotate freely. Test it with a battery. Feed the tube through the lid, C2, and pull it until it reaches the body. Click the parts together. Attach the second tube to the second connection and seal the cable tube with either super glue or silicone. And just like that, our pump motor is finished and ready for testing. To test it, I'll solder a battery box with 3 volts to the motor. However, if you need more power, you can go up to 5 volts. Now, I'm dipping the motor into a bottle filled with water, mixed with a bit of color for better contrast. As soon as it's turned on, you can quickly see how well the motor works and how quiet it is. Leave a comment on what you'd like me to build next. The most liked suggestion will be designed. Thanks to the immersion in water, the noise is even further minimized, making it even quieter. I'll be doing more detailed motor tests soon to see just how much power we can get out of a 3D printed pump motor. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe.